at this time? I know you mentioned already 15. Is that still the number?
Well, we have a little bit more, but we need to, we will see who will join. Yeah, we will, as soon as your PowerPoint is ready, we can start probably.
Okay.
And maybe before that, while you're still sending, joining the webinar today. So we're going to talk about quite important topic. And sometimes we don't really know what they mean behind this Canadian culture, etiquette and stuff, right? Like, so it's good that we can just sit down and talk about it. What do they actually mean? And when they say, oh, when you're a newcomer, you don't have this Canadian experience and stuff, right? So my name is Julie, and I'm here with my colleague Valerie. We are settlement counselors from Ottawa Chinese Community Service Center, and we were registering you for this webinar. Our organization is non-profit, non-partisan, and we help newcomers with adaptation in Ottawa, in Ontario, like wherever you're staying. And then, so if you have any other questions regarding your settlement, adaptation, please feel free to reach out to us. Doris, well, good?
Yeah, all good.
Yes, so I just want to introduce Doris. If you haven't been to our two previous webinars, Doris is our career coach, and she is helping in OCCSC with one-on-one sessions, career sessions, where we can talk about the resumes, the cover letters. If you have any questions about like how to use your experience from abroad in Canada, or if you're looking for a new pathway in Canada. So feel free to reach out to me, or either me or Valerie, regarding the one-on-one sessions as well. They're usually online, around 45 minutes. So we will send you probably an email or something that, or like a registration link where you can register for those one-on-one sessions. If there are no other things, Doris, I would like to invite you.
Very good. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to my workshop webinar on Canadian workplace culture and etiquette. And if it's okay for you all to open your camera. Now, some people may not be able to if they have young children around them and things like that, but it helps me to also get to know you, because sometimes I have tips for you, so it's easier for me to see you while we're speaking, because that's important as well, that employers expect. In the chat tonight, if you don't mind just writing your profession. So go ahead and just write what it is. Like for me, I'm an HR representative, a human resources manager. So just go ahead, and of course, I'm a career strategist too. So this way I get to know your professions as I go along with some examples. And I did meet some of you already from the last webinar we had. So there we go. All right. So administration, cyber, AI, okay, fast food, okay, worker. We have student at college, La Cité. Okay, and we also have another student, Elvige. Okay, student. Okay, very good. So I keep looking as I should be expecting about 13 or so, or maybe 10. So everyone, please write your profession so I get to know who you are. And if you're a student, that's perfect. All right. And please start again with the country of, your culture, because that also will provide me with a good instinct of what I could provide as comparison to your culture, to the Canadian workplace. So please write down where, what is the country that you feel more connected to, before Canada. So where are you from originally? Okay, so just write down for me, it's Egypt and Lebanon. So Egypt and Lebanon. Oh, let me type that better. So I do relate to people who are newcomers. I myself was born here. However, my parents are both from Egypt and Lebanon. So, I do understand the importance, for us not to be seen as a culture, but mainly to be seen for our competencies. Of course, some employers love the idea that you know another language, like from your country, because that can help when you promote yourself. So now I wanted to hear, is anyone having this challenge when it comes to Canadian workplace culture and etiquette? And you can write your question or you can just tell us what it is, because we're working tonight as a group where we can learn from each other. And that's to me the best way to proceed with a workshop like this, as opposed to just me giving you a lecture. So, does anyone, and that can come later as well, have anything to say regarding their situation? And if you're more comfortable in French, I could translate, so that's no issue. Anybody here want to share a little bit to me if what they've been challenged with? What question do they have about the Canadian workplace culture and etiquette? Has anyone worked in a Canadian workplace so far, even if it's volunteer? Okay. All right. We have also civil and industrial engineer, Algeria, fast food, Cameroon. I work like in marketing, community manager. Excellent. Okay, Egypt, that's me. Pakistan, China, very nice. Peru, I want to go there next. I travel a lot, so this is good. All right. So I see a lot of good things now. I'm going to start then with the PowerPoint, unless someone wants to write me a challenge they have, because I really want to answer your questions in the 1 hour that we have together. So I've been working in career coaching, counseling, leadership development, psychotherapy, in many, many areas. I've been working 30 some years, and especially one of my longest careers was as an HR manager in the public service, specifically at Health Canada. So I understand all the staffing components and what employers are looking for, and how managers should interview you, and what should they not worry about. And honestly, they should not worry about that you don't have Canadian experience, because for them they're wondering, why is it that I would like to have someone who has stepped into a Canadian workplace or environment. But the key here is I'm going to help you promote yourself, that you have the competencies required for a Canadian workplace. Not being in a Canadian work environment, that's no issue at all. You need to convince the employer that you feel competent for this role. You've been working in multicultural workplaces in your own country. We all work in our country workplace, and then we find a lot of North Americans or Canadians in our workplace. So you understand Canadian people. You're here in Canada, you're going in the environment to do your different personal business, like banking and things like that. But today I'm going to help you understand better the workplace, and I'm going to give you a handout at the end. It's going to help you when you need to speak to employers about them challenging you, because I teach a lot of employers not to worry about the Canadian work experience. What counts is your competencies that you have in your area of expertise. Did anyone change careers when they came to Canada? Like if you want to write, you went from the lady or person from Algeria, fast food worker. Were you doing that in Algeria as well? Or were you in another profession? Who would that be? LM. Who is that? Luan, c'est comme ça? Luan, you worked in fast food work in Algeria as well. If you could open your microphone, thank you. Luan.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Luanes.
Yeah. Merci. Okay. Algeria. Yeah, go ahead. Did you work?
I was working public networking.
I'm sorry?
In Algeria, in my home country, I
Yes.
was working computer networking.
Okay, networking, like
Mhm.
computers, like LAN,
Yeah,
local area network. Okay.
yeah, land, yeah.
And you came here and did you take a fast food certificate?
No,
Not yet. Okay.
not yet.
There's that can happen as well. Everybody on this call, you can have one-on-one coaching with me. Yeah. So just sign up at the end. About 2 sessions each, just to give you an idea. So I can help you with what you need. Luanis, c'est comme ça? Okay, let me keep going here. Anyone have anything to say so far, or we're all good? It looks like, Valerie, I can't go to the next slide because I know I had to have you open it for me. Okay, thank you. So today we're going to touch upon all of these topics here, and it's going to be very interesting, as we get together tonight and share our worries, our challenges, and what has worked for us. I too had some form of, I felt, unfairness just because of my last name, Haddad, 35 years ago when I was entering the workplace. Imagine, oh, would you understand the Canadian workplace? I said, yeah, I was born here, but my last name is Egyptian, Middle Eastern, Lebanese. But imagine 35 years ago, same thing. But I got in and I proved myself with our competencies. So everybody, don't worry, be strong when you're selling yourself, because we are selling our services, what we are good at. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. So Valeria, so really, our Canadian workplace culture is very similar to your country of origin. Really, what is expected here is that we respect each other, not just our superior, our manager, but we respect our colleagues, our clients, everybody. And I would also add, strong communication, because nowadays a lot of things are misinterpreted, anywhere you go. And it's important to be strong at communicating if something you felt didn't go well with your colleague, your manager. It's important to approach people, and communicate to them. So that's our workplace. I'm in touch with many employers as I do this privately as well, the career counseling. And they tell me that for them, communication is number one when they hire you. For those who need to be stronger in their language, English or French or whatever language, Spanish often is also in need. Make sure you continue taking some courses to perfect your English, for example, because communication is number one. Teamwork, like any workplace, you have to work well together and help each other at work. Be reliable. When your employer needs you for something, you want to show that you are reliable. If you have to take a day off, you could still be reached in case there's an emergency. Professionalism. We need to all be professional at work, and that you could look up on Google to understand. All of the different variety of professionalism characteristics. But we all know, we dress professionally, we talk professionally, we don't say anything that's insulting. Being professional with our clients, especially when they're having issues, and not getting angry. So there's so much, involved in professionalism. Now, accountability, we are responsible for what we produce at work. So that's the same in any culture. Now, sometimes some countries aren't as strict, but here in Canada, we like to maintain a good reputation in our organization. So we like accountability to be definitely taken seriously, that you're doing the right thing with etiquette, you're not doing anything that is not ethical. So very important. And of course, Canadian workplace is very well known for diversity and inclusion. So often being from another culture it gets you into the government. In my case, I did tick off visible minority. at the time, 35 years ago. And I think that was a big bonus for me to get, of course, I had to prove in the interview my competencies, but I also got in under employment equity group. So that's important. Now, I do see a question has come up. It says, what does effective teamwork look like in a multicultural Canadian office? So, effective teamwork is really helping each other, going to each other for questions, really, and respecting each other, professional, all of these that are listed, make up a very good teamwork. Being able to deal with your colleagues. Sometimes friction occurs, jealousy occurs, competition occurs, but we all get that at one time in our career when we're younger, maybe, and then we learn how to deal with it by approaching our a manager or labor union people. There's all kinds of ways, but also I work with people with workplace issues, so that to help with the teamwork. So I do that a lot, but it's really being very very respectful with your colleagues. Any specific question about that, Samina?
And thank you very much. I think I'm good. It's pretty clear for me.
Okay. Have you had any challenges at the workplace, even in your own country?
I think it is a random question. I
Yeah.
just want to know how do team handle differences in communication style or in teamwork look like in multicultural Canadian office. That's what I learned from you.
Very good, very good. Yes, of course, it's true. It becomes even more interesting when we're all from different cultures. I look up a lot, what is the communication style of certain country, a certain population, because sometimes eye contact is not given to you, like to you as a colleague by certain cultures. So, we check that out, but then that gets better and better as that new person comes into the Canadian workplace.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Anytime, just throw a question in there or even ask to speak by raising the hand.
All right.
All right. Okay, now next slide, please, Valeria. Okay, so here we go. We're talking about what is communication, as I mentioned earlier. Very important what employers tell me. They want you to actively listening, ask questions. Even I was with a student the other day, a career, having a coaching session. I was driving him to his interview because I was coaching him, and he's like 15 years old. Part of the service the mother wanted me to give him, and he was actively listening to me as a 15-year-old. I was telling him, preparing him for the interview at McDonald's, and he's saying to me, well, what does it mean onboarding, and what does it mean, teamwork, and and I would explain something, then he would ask another question within, my explanation. So please don't be shy. At workplace, they expect you to ask more questions. They like that, the employers. They want to see that you're very interested in what the employer is telling you. Now, there is sometimes situations which we could get into if you have a question of friction with an employer or manager here in Canada, but there's always different policies to help you with that. Make sure your communication is clear. So there's techniques that I will take you through, just asking, okay, am I understood? Is it clear to you? Just, things like that. So just to make sure in case you find that people struggle to understand what you're trying to say, I teach a lot of people too with language accents, how to proceed and make sure the communication is clear. It's normal. We all have accents in Canada. Now, asking questions like I mentioned. Oh, did someone have a comment or no? I didn't see a hand. No, I heard a voice. Might have been a child. Professional emails, again, etiquette for that is to, start with a professional, I hope you're having a great day. We always have a sentence there at the beginning, even though we feel like it takes time, it's okay. It shows that you are a person of interest to ask people, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. I hope this email finds you well. So I'm sure in your experience already, you've had professional, writings of emails. So it's similar to Canada. And positive language. So the employer doesn't want you to have any kind of negative comments, like as a whole. I mean, sometimes we're asked to give our critique in a meeting, that's okay, but at the same time, for positive language, very important that we proceed in a way that we don't worry the employer or the interviewer by showing that you are negative about things. Like maybe you were affected by an employer, but at the same time you could say it was a great learning experience. Like I had a competitive manager in the government, a woman similar to my age, but I was under her. She just arrived. And she was so competitive with me, and I had no interest in taking her position, but she thought I did. So I went up to her in a positive way and I said, "Could you please explain? I've been working here like 10 years and now you're new. Well, is there something that's bothering you about me?" And then she broke out and said to me, I'm thinking you're going to take my role. You know a lot here, more than I do. I said, "I'm not interested. I'm here to support you," because I wanted to stay as an HR advisor at the time. Later I became a manager. Okay, any questions on this matter? Communication matters.
I have a question.
Yes.
The second item is the clear communications. So we are trying to be clear, to have a clear communication, but how we can improve our accent, because sometimes our accent is not clear. Some people, they cannot understand us. So yeah,
Okay.
that's maybe a tough part to make a clear communication.
Well, there is an expert that we've used here, and I think Valeria or Julia might be able to search. But we have actual, not speech therapists per se, but they could be in that same category. But I've seen this one lady I know well. She's completely taken away the accent of a person, but it's a service. I think it's okay in Canadian workplace because we all have accents. We come from different countries. Uh, I understand you well, Abdul, and I think the key is to pronounce. When we have different accents, take our time, speak slow, and pronounce, and then you're going to find yourself getting more comfortable. Around that. Pronunciation. That's what I've noticed as a career, advisors that I've told people from different countries, because that's my area of expertise as newcomers, to really pronounce your words. And even French Canadian, we have trouble sometimes. The Anglophones here, what did you try to say? Because they for honestly, for example, they will put the H in there and say honestly. You get used to different accents. I should say honestly again. But if you're interested in that professional who has wiped people's accents within a year, she could talk to you. I could look her up, but maybe Julie Valeria knows someone as well.
Of course, I'm really interested with that. You see, sometimes this is when we are talking with the colleagues.
Yes.
At the workspace, and it is disappointing at the middle of the talk, the middle of the conversation, they're asking where are you originally from. So it means to us that they didn't understand us very well. So they found us different accent. That's why they are asking us, "Oh, where are you originally from?" So this is the point. I need to. Nobody asked me about where you're originally from to improve my accent.
Okay. Has anyone said to you, "I'm having trouble understanding"?
Sometime, yeah.
Okay, sometime. Because I ask people where they're from, not because of anything to do with accent. I just love cultures, and that could be the case with whoever asked you where you're from.
The question has come to my mind, but whenever they are asking where are you from, so maybe he or she didn't understand you well. That's why he asking.
Yeah, and
yesterday, I can tell you yesterday, one of my colleagues, I'm working on road construction.
Okay.
So yesterday I talked with one of the flaggers here on site. So So in the middle of the talk, she told me, "So what is your accent from?" So,
Ah. So
so
okay,
that
you got that from her, and I know it gets irritating, doesn't it? You must want to
yeah,
find a
yeah.
way. Okay, well, have you asked at the end? I'm just wondering, are you having trouble understanding me? You could say that to get feedback.
So that is why, because she found me different accent. So
Yes.
that's why she asked me that, where are you
Okay. Well,
from? Or, yeah.
I understand. When I travel everywhere around the world, I'm a big traveler. My colleagues at OCC know. I get that all the time. Where are you from? Are you American or Canadian? When I say Canadian, they say, "Oh, phew." They're happy. Sorry, but sometimes it's just because of Trump. Really, they get excited about Canada. Now, maybe they're going to get excited about your country. Abdul, where are you from?
Should I say?
Yes.
You find me a different accent?
No, I just want to see.
I'm from.
Is it okay? Let me look up. But I'm trying to also have an interest of your culture. But where are you from? I'm looking up here. I don't see
Uh,
you.
okay, again. So I'm from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Wow, wonderful. I always love the food of different countries. Afghanistan,
Yeah,
especially.
some people love the food, but they didn't love the accent.
Oh, don't say that. Oh my God. Okay, could you don't forget everyone to open your camera because I'm speaking to a black
Oh,
screen, like
uh,
yeah.
I'm on the job site. I'm in the car, so
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry.
that's why.
Okay, don't worry about that. Just the new people have come in. If you're in the car, I understand. You
Okay.
know what? Don't let that affect you. We all get some kind of comment, that we don't like. We just ignore it. That's what I say to people. We have to have strong confidence and ignore, because you know what? At the workplace in construction, there's a lot of different accents. I know.
Yeah, I know.
I hire people. I hired about 20 people 2 weeks ago with the big flooding that happened in Ottawa. They were from all over the world, all the different accents. I had a lot of construction workers come in for a fast job, to help a company that hired me. Okay, so let's continue on that topic if we need to. Is that okay?
There is one more question.
Oh, yes, please. Go ahead.
Samina, go on.
Thank you for the timing. May I know some effective ways to ensure clear communication in daily workplace task, especially when working with diverse teams?
Oh, so you would like to know what are some examples of clear
Yeah,
communication
sure. Yeah.
when working with diverse teams?
Yeah. Because you share recently, you train diverse culture people. They're ready to go for the work right now. So that's what I know. Some good example that helps us to more improvement in multicultural environment.
Very important. And I love your Canadian flag in the background. That's going to get you a job right away when
Thank
if
you.
you're on an interview. I love people's backgrounds. I don't have the best one right now because I'm usually in a daytime office. Now it's nighttime. But I find people, they look at this cosmetic, of people when they're interviewing them. Okay, so clear communication. Let's go to the next slide. I just want to check if I have it on the next slide because I do have it in the handout I'll be giving to you. Okay, so clear communication. I just have to write the one big one that's not to do with this slide, but is confidence. It's not on this slide though, but you will see it in the handout. Now, clear communication is when you're speaking to people at work, is to show confidence in what you're about, what they're asking you advice about. Clear communication is eye contact, is not shouting loud because some cultures are loud. I have a Lebanese husband. And I always say, "Why are you shouting?" He says, "I'm not shouting, I'm talking." But I have to always train him to calm down, so it's in all cultures really that we have to just be calm, cool and collected. You know this expression? Calm when you're speaking, cool, like nothing bothers you, and you're collected, like you're not anxious. Because people notice if you're nervous when you're speaking. But that's okay. It happens, at your first job in Canada. If I was in my first job in France, I would be nervous. I've gotten jobs in other countries as well, in Egypt when I was born here. I was nervous a lot, but you have to practice clear communication. The handout will show you more, but it's a lot about competencies, like showing leadership. Like that has to do with communication. Also problem solving has to do with communication. But the small little tips are more around speaking in a fashion that is very calm. People are understanding you. It's clear when you speak. The pronunciation, that is number one. I stop a lot in my workshops to pronounce, to make sure people don't catch my French accent. I was schooled in French. So yeah, this is the kind of thing, but there'll be more information as we go along, Samina.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem. Anytime, please ask questions. Okay. Now, this here is, I think, very straightforward because I know the time is going fast here for our time together. But, always be on time, dress appropriately. And it's the same as in your country. I travel the world and I watch people dress up for work. It's the same thing as here. But you can ask at an interview, before, like sometimes the HR people will call you first and you could say, can I please understand the dress code for this company? You can ask, and they say, oh, we don't wear suits here. We don't wear blazers for the women. We're casual wear. A blouse and a skirt, or, this kind of casual. Doesn't have to be like a very high-end outfit. Now, personal space, which I think it goes well with most of us. If someone is in your personal bubble, like they used to say in COVID, you can say, oh, please, if you don't mind, it's too close for me, that when you're speaking. This is something, we need to respect even our employers, not to be right in their face, when we're speaking to them. So, confidential, everything to do with what you're hearing. And you could always ask, can I share this with my, colleague or my spouse? And they will tell you, the manager, because maybe they're coming up with a new product and they want ideas, from you. But always maintain confidentiality until you get permission, to share something. Professional phone use, that we're asking you not to be on your personal cell phone. Often people catch that, on your break, on lunchtime, that's okay, but not always. Employers don't like that. Okay, let's go to the next one, and then if questions arise, please ask. Now, like I mentioned earlier, active listening. Ask your supervisor questions. If you don't understand what they're saying, maybe they have, sometimes people talk in these metaphors, or they talk in these ways of expressions, and we don't always catch every country's expressions, until we have had many years of experience. I'm going on to 60 years old in 2 years. So, I had to learn expressions as I went along. But, you ask, you clarify. Well, to me, the next one is clarify expectations. Number one, when you start your job, you ask, what are you going to be assessed on, like your performance? You're going to ask, what is it that I'm expected to do? And they hopefully can give you a page, like a document, like a job description, a one-page profile. But often the manager will have continuous feedback with you. This is what happens with supervisors in the workplace. They are expected to ask you, how's it going? After your 1 week at work, is there any question you have? But you can also ask your colleagues, to get information, and you get to know who are your nice colleagues and who are a little bit reserved because they're competitive. Offer ideas respectfully. And number one, as well as clarifying expectations, is take initiative. So when you see your manager really wants to promote something at the workplace, you could say, can I help? I'm very good at maybe like a social club or something like this. So show your initiative of your competencies, of what you're good at. Any question about supervisors and if you've had experience here in Canada that you want to know what to do with that? Okay. So the next one, please, Valeria. Oh, yeah, Luanis. Go ahead. You have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Can I speak with French?
Oui, and I will translate for everybody. Pas de problème.
Yeah. Je voulais retourner exactement à propos de la communication.
Oui.
Ce que j'ai compris, bon, je suis nouveau ici en fait. J'ai une année. Je suis venu dans le programme de la francophonie, des travailleurs qualifiés. Donc, dans mon pays natal, j'ai été un administrateur réseau. J'ai une qualification dans ce domaine, mais malheureusement, je n'arrivais pas ici à entrer dans le domaine professionnel. J'ai remarqué que le marché d'emploi, c'est comme s'il a résumé la communication. Tu es communicant si tu parles correctement le français, l'anglais. Le français, non. Et c'est un problème. Et c'est pour cela que je me suis retrouvé je travaille comme dans un restaurant. C'est pour exactement équilibrer mes charges et la responsabilité familiale.
Oui, ok, je comprends bien. J'ai beaucoup de clients qui viennent, ils sont de votre pays et à côté aussi. So Luanes is concerned because he came into with the francophone program. He's stronger in French, but he was in IT in his country. C'est Algérie votre pays ou?
Oui.
Oui, Algeria. Okay, very good. And so he is saying to me, he 1 year now having trouble to find work because they expect him to be strong in English. And maybe the Canadian embassy, peut-être l'ambassade canadienne, ils vous ont dit, venez au Canada, pas de problème, le français. Mais in Ottawa, English is important. Maybe the Canadian embassy in Algeria promoted that Luanis comes because it's easy to get a job in his field. His field is very important for sure in IT. However, the English is so important. So sometimes I suggest to you to focus on the French side. Like if you are allowed with your program to go to Montreal, Gatineau, because it might be hard if you're 80% French and 20% English, comfort zone. Now he works in a restaurant, so that's good, to get some workplace exposure, Canadian work environment. But I am recommending, short and sweet, but I'd like to have a one-on-one session with you, Luanes. We could, on va parler, we're going to get into your situation together. Okay, is that good for you? Okay. So in the meantime, look at the Gatineau and Montreal, but maybe you have. But I'm trying to also commit to the time together. But I appreciate your question because that's a good one-on-one. I can help you strategize where you're going to work.
Effectivement, si vous me permettez, j'ai postulé à Gatineau, j'ai postulé. Mais malheureusement, de l'entretien, j'ai été bon. Il m'a accepté, il m'a fait un test tellement je ne communique pas correctement l'anglais. Je comprends le vocabulaire, je n'ai pas de problème. Juste l'accent aussi, quand je speak slowly, je speak pas. Moi, je ne parle pas assez rapidement comme le français, je ne m'exprime pas correctement comme le français. Et là, je n'étais pas retenu.
Okay.
Moi, qu'est-ce que je veux dire derrière ça? Bon, ça reste toujours mon avis, je ne sais pas. Qui est le perdant ici? Je suis le perdant puisque ma carrière est en cause. C'est le marché Canada aussi, d'emploi de Canada, il est perdant. Puisque sincèrement, je suis qualifié dans mon domaine.
Very good. Tu as la confiance. The confidence for...
Et la langue et les mots-clés de l'anglais, ça viendra au fur et à mesure. Je ne pense pas dans 4 mois, 5 mois, je peux assez... Voilà. Et les entreprises, malheureusement, ils ne comprennent pas ça. Donc, ils ne te donnent pas du temps d'intégrer, de comprendre la langue.
Okay, je comprends. We get to know. He has had interview and get to know, but he's facing challenges. The fact that he has an accent in French when he speaks English. We will talk about all that. Don't worry, one on one. It's good you came today. Now you know you are offered sessions with me. I'm very good at helping you with your challenge. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, now this here again is very similar. Working with your colleagues, the same thing to do with your supervisor. Okay, let's go to resolving conflict. It's like in your own country. We look at problem solving. How do we proceed with that? But let's go on and see if you have a question about resolving conflict. Because I like you to have a chance to ask questions. So. Okay, let's. How many slides do we have, Valeria? 20, but we are number 7, I think, huh?
Just a second. I need to check because I have full screen. I don't see the real situation.
That's okay. I will go faster. Don't worry, because of the time constraints, because of my. Yeah, I don't mind going 15 minutes more, but it depends if people have questions at the end. I can stay, for the one-on-ones. At 8:00, those who have to leave, they leave, but I will stay 15 minutes to help you personally, one-on-one. Okay, as a group as well. So let's just go to the next slide. That's okay, Valeria. Okay, now, have you had the experience to answer this question? You don't have Canadian experience. Has anyone given a very confident answer to this that you could share an example, please? Because that will help the colleagues on this call. Has anyone had this? You don't have Canadian experience, or you fear this question, anything like this that anyone can provide as an example, please. And I will help you too, coach you with your answer.
Yeah, may I share my experience?
Yes, of course.
Okay. When I started my job in Canada, my manager clearly explained the performance expectations and encouraged me to ask the questions. During the first week, I focused on understanding my task and how they fit into the team goals. I schedule short meetings after 1 week. And I also took initiative by suggesting a small improvement in our workflow and offered a help to co-work who was new to the system. And I was the one has good understanding the system because I am good in cybersecurity and AI. I can save the time. I can give the more automations in our systems. Good. So I give the presentation. My manager, my supervisor appreciate the proactive communications and teamwork. Yes. And it helped me to build the trust with colleagues and understand how accountability and respect are valued in Canadian workplace.
Nice. So 2 things we talked about tonight: accountability and respect.
Yeah.
Good. So you had good feedback, good positive experience. And did you notice that the workplace here in Canada is similar to your country, like in the sense of multiculturalism?
I think it is similar or even some better based on my country because they are offering equal opportunities and they are not discriminations, and we get a lot of upskilling ourselves. It is really a great opportunities to everyone. They contribute in Canadian workplace and learning a lot from the co-worker, and especially the people have a knowledge in tech, and tech are the similar for all over the world. And if we talk about AI, cybersecurity, CIA, confidential, integrity, and availability. All rules and regulations, compliance, similar. So it's good. We work and we
Good.
learn more from here.
Good. Are you with the federal government or private sector?
Before I work in government sectors, almost a year, and my contract has ended. Right now, I am searching another job.
Okay, okay. You know what? This group as well, we are there for each other as networking contacts. I'm telling you, that's the main way to get a job in Ottawa or Canada, is through our contacts. And so here on the call, people might know someone for you in cyber and AI, but we could ask each other on private chat. Can I have your email or contact information as we go along?
Yeah, even anyone interested to learn AI and cyber security, in multi-cloud security environment, I'm good to train them, teach them, and hands-on experience. I work on various tools and technologies that helps automations and secure the workplace.
Good way to market yourself. Make sure you add that to LinkedIn, but you're also willing to help a colleague here, I imagine, just like one-on-one situation. But everybody advertise yourself on LinkedIn, huh? Very important. Yes. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
We can meet one-on-one, everybody on this call, not to worry. It might take, though, another week before I can meet you all, but that's okay. Well, because I have two little gigs to do, to workshops for the week. Okay, the next 2 weeks I'm busy, but that's okay. We'll see you after 2 weeks. Not a
All right.
Okay, so now what else do we have? Maybe we could bring forward this whole slide and just see what it's providing, or is it just the one question, Valeria? Okay.
Just one.
Yeah, we go to the next one, please. Like I was saying before, when we are challenged that you don't have Canadian experience, same with me when I worked in Cairo, Egypt, you don't have Egyptian experience, but I commented that my competencies, I was hired to work at the University of Cairo, American University of Cairo. I was about 22 years old, in that range. And I said, well, I'm an HR representative and I can, definitely teach on the skills that I've been hired for, which is, at the time, it was time management. That was very important in Egypt, probably because, like the way people say goodbye, it takes like 30 minutes, to say goodbye at the door. But that could be in many cultures. I had to teach time management at work, and I said, well, it doesn't matter. I don't have Egyptian workplace experience, but I am adaptable. So in Egypt, I didn't know this, but it happened in front of me, but I was adaptable at the prayer time, for the Muslim religion. Like say at 11 a.m., they had to go and pray while I was teaching, and everyone left my classroom. I thought, oh, did I do something? No, right away I figured it out. Everyone went to pray and came back. So don't forget to push to your employer who's challenging you, your employer to be, your interviewer, in a of course, diplomatic ways, to say my competencies are completely transferable. It will apply to the Canadian work experience. IT is IT everywhere. Food is the same everywhere, keeping it clean. Whichever areas, administration is similar. And explain the ability to adapt. So very important. I just want to, and we could work on this one-on-one, of course, because you may have a personal challenge that I can help you with. But let's go through the slides, and then I'll stay 15 minutes more for those who can stay. Okay. So the next slide talks about what employers really want, and it's the same. Really, new word here is problem solving that I prepared. But this is what they tell me all the time. I want good communication skills, good customer service, teamwork. I know it's frustrating looking for a job, and we have to stay positive. But I want to stress that even our people born here are taking years, at times, to find a position that they really love. Students are having trouble getting jobs this summer. So things in Canada sometimes too become challenging. And remember to continue being positive. adaptable. Maybe you could suggest something in your field of expertise that you could offer presentation for free so that people get to know you in your field, and post on LinkedIn, what you're good at. So the employer sees you, even though there could be that language discrepancy. That's okay for now, but post, it shows your confidence. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Thank you. Okay, so again, it's the same. What's important too is to frame the education, that what you've learned in your massage therapy designation, whatever it is, very applicable in Canada. Try to volunteer when you're here. Try to find a volunteer space, even if it's one day a week on Volunteer Ottawa. It's a website. If you are in Ottawa, I think everyone's in Ottawa. Is anyone in another city like Toronto here on the call, or raise your hand, or just Ottawa?
Toronto as well.
Where are you?
Toronto.
Okay, good. You're in Toronto. Okay. What's your expertise?
I'm in cybersecurity and AI.
Sorry, I didn't see you, Samina, because I was on a different side. Okay, got it. You're in Toronto. Okay, very good. Very similar to Ottawa. So for those who haven't been in a Canadian workplace yet, please in the chat, or no, I have another way. Raise your hand or put in the chat those who have not worked yet in Canada. So I want to see in this group, how many are we? So let's see, you could raise your hand or put in the chat, no, just put no if you have not worked in Canada yet. Because don't forget, even the Canadians, it takes time for them to settle in a job. Okay, so those who have not worked in Canada yet, let's put that in the chat. Okay, Giselle, Celia, okay, me, Elvige, okay, very good. Okay, so there's quite a lot of you here, so I'm happy that you're here. And when you get the one-on-one session with me, twice, you'll be able to, I will hone down on your situation, and I provide strategy for you, to help you with your challenges. Okay. But please remember, it's hard to find work no matter what country you're in. It takes time to know people. Networking is the key. Okay, I was wondering, is it Giselle having a question by chance, or just saying, okay, go ahead, vas-y.
Yes, thank you, Doris. I have a question about volunteer experience, because I just need to know if any kind of volunteer work count in your experience, or you have to make the volunteer. I don't know. Can I explain it very well?
Like separate, you mean, on the resume? Volunteer. Oui, go ahead en français. Vas-y.
Je disais, vous dites en fait, mon expérience internationale plus l'expérience de comment on appelle encore ici là, de service.
Comme un emploi, tu parles qu'un emploi payé ou un emploi bénévole, c'est ça?
Bénévole, merci. Je pense, en fait, pour moi, c'est que, est-ce que si je vais dans un centre communautaire, faire du bénévolat comme je le faisais à la banque alimentaire, et puis moi, aujourd'hui, je veux travailler peut-être dans le service de médias, ça ne va pas compter, en fait. Donc, quand vous parlez de service de bénévolat, ça doit être ciblé. Je pense que
no, the volunteer job that you would be getting is not paid, yes, but it does not have to, it doesn't go against you. It's actually, in fact, helping, because the employer knows it doesn't matter that you only volunteered in a workplace. They prefer that than not having exposure, but you still worked, when you were volunteering. So you're going to list your actions, on your resume. What did you do in the community organization? But the employer in Canada does see it as beneficial. I have my clients who have zero work paid experience putting their sometimes I don't even write volunteer. I just put, I say to people, put work experience. And if they ask you, how long did you work there in an interview, say I mainly volunteered, because you don't want to just put like only volunteer in Canada. Just put the work experience because that's what it is. And then later on, you could explain that it was volunteer. There's a way to do a resume for everybody. Some resumes, I say, keep the word volunteer because it goes with your line of work. Maybe you want to work for United Way, for example. Keep it volunteer, the word volunteer. But for other people, I would just say work experience in Canada, work experience abroad. Because sometimes, employers want to know, well, we don't know this company. So I rather you put a title work experience abroad, work experience in Canada, or you take away the abroad. There's every situation I need to analyze really when I meet with you. But don't be shy. A volunteer is the same as paid. Like they just see that you're having some good experience. So, tu vas mettre toutes les expériences bénévoles, mais peut-être on va pas mettre le titre bénévole. Ça dépend sur ton, comme le genre de industrie. C'est quoi ton industrie encore, Gisèle? Marketing and community manager.
45.
Yes.
So community manager, it's important to show volunteer, you see, a volunteer work experience. But it does count high in Canada that you have the competencies, even though it was a volunteer position. On va parler de ça un à un, hein, pour que je t'aide. Okay. Okay, here we go. So volunteer experience counts. We have this on the slide. So same. This is what it proves, and you're going to get a handout at the end. I'm going to help you with all that, huh? So you see what to do on the handout to remind you of this workshop. Okay, so we have Elvige.
Bonsoir, Ados.
Bonsoir, ça va?
Ça va. Désolée, l'anglais, c'est un challenge pour moi, donc je vais m'exprimer plus en français.
Pas de problème.
En fait, je n'ai pas bien compris par rapport au bénévolat. Je voulais juste savoir, pour quelqu'un qui est peut-être contrôleur dans son pays, qui était contrôleur dans son pays, et puis il arrive ici, il fait du bénévole dans les banques alimentaires. Est-ce qu'il peut postuler en mettant dans son CV qu'il a l'expérience canadienne ou un poste, je veux dire n'importe quoi, à la banque, quoi. Donc, tu vas être gestionnaire, par exemple, tu as te postuler pour un poste de gestionnaire à la banque et tu as juste fait du bénévole dans une banque alimentaire. Est-ce que c'est possible?
Tu veux dire le bénévole était dans votre pays à la banque? Parce que chez nous, il nous laisse pas l'opportunité d'être bénévole dans une banque. OK, oui, c'est ça.
Le bénévole était ici au Canada, dans une communauté pour le service de la banque alimentaire, tout comme ça.
Oh, la banque alimentaire, c'est Food Bank.
Oui, Food Bank.
Okay, so Giselle was a volunteer here at Food Bank. Yes. Oui, c'est important d'écrire tes fonctions. Peut-être tu faisais des fonctions de comptabilité là-bas, mais sinon, c'est correct. On va mettre ce que tu faisais, ce que tu fais, what you're doing at the food bank, very important to list. But because Giselle is in the area of accounting, hein? Tu es comptable?
No, loin de là. The food bank, I can take the quality of teamwork, of communication.
Communication?
Yes.
Excuse-moi. Laisse-moi monter ici to see what Elvige said her area of expertise is, because the windows changed. Okay. Oh, tu écris étudiante pour maintenant. OK.
En fait, je fais les cours d'anglais et je fais du bénévole dans une banque alimentaire. Dans mon pays, j'étais contrôleur.
Contrôleur, ça c'est comptabilité. Ça c'est comme controller in a bank. Okay, in a bank or in a company, she was a controller. So tu travaillais avec les chiffres, les nombres.
Justement. Mais maintenant, ici, je fais du bénévole, mais ça n'a rien à voir avec ce que je faisais dans mon pays. Maintenant, ici, je veux postuler.
Oui.
Mais je me rends compte que l'expérience que je suis en train d'acquérir dans la full bank, ça n'a rien à voir avec le poste que je veux
c'est correct.
Donc, je ne sais pas si Comme à la banque alimentaire, je vais dire quoi? J'aide à cuisiner ou j'aide à partager de la nourriture. Ça a un lien. Je dois mettre ça dans mon CV pour dire que j'ai l'expérience canadienne. Je sais pas.
Okay, Elvish has a good point. She works in a food bank, where she cooks and serves food, comme tu vas donner de la nourriture aux gens. Mais, but there are competencies, il y a des compétences, teamwork et tout ça, qu'on va écrire au lieu que tu dis que tu sers la nourriture seulement, tu vois. Il y a des compétences que tu fais qui est important avec le food bank. On va l'écrire parce que l'employeur wants to see that you've been exposed to other Canadians in the workplace, even though they're from different cultures. So, on va parler de ça one-on-one. Et je vais t'aider à bien, je vais bien te comprendre un à un quand on va avoir une session.
D'accord.
Okay, so now I know the time is gone fast. I want you to see the handout. 1 minute, and let's just close the share here because my handout is exactly my slides. So I just want to show you my handout that you're going to get by email from Julia or Valeria. And this will show you, let me just open it. Exactly, I actually posted it on LinkedIn. You see, I created, let me just get my LinkedIn open. So you see the handout you're getting today. And because sometimes we do some work and then we want to advertise it, to your people, like who are in your field. Maybe clients of mine might be looking for. You might see all my windows open here, but here we go. LinkedIn. That's a client of mine. So here I go. So Doris is here, and I'm going to try to get myself open here. View profile. And I just posted today. I don't post often because I'm retired actually after 30 years in the government, but I still am a career coach part-time. And so today I posted this handout that I'm giving to all of you. It's in English, but please go ahead and translate it in French. Vous pouvez faire la traduction parce que avec AI. So the rest of my talk today was around, let me try to make this bigger. Okay, there we go. Okay, we talked about volunteer, but then here is a response to someone who says, well, you don't have Canadian work experience. And then you say, but I have the competencies. So focus on value, don't focus on what you are missing, but focus on what you can offer. Very important. And then the key message is not where you learned your skills, it's how you use them, So when I went to work in other countries, I would say, well, this is how I could help you. So always get to know the mission of the organization that you are applying to. Like, for example, for Elvige, there's a giant tiger. They look often for controllers, accountants, but find out what's a giant tiger all about. Par exemple, ici chez nous, Giant Tiger, ils cherchent beaucoup des comptables. I noticed that in job advertising, dans les annonces. So regarde that Giant Tiger. So then you find out what the company's all about, and then you end up, showing how you use your skills. How do you apply your skills to Giant Tiger? Communication is important. Supervisor, we went through that all the way down. Multicultural Canada. Your international experience is an advantage. Everybody remember that. On the right-hand side, multicultural. It counts. Your global experience is so important that an employer in Canada knows they are missing out. Don't forget that. Be confident, because I speak to many employers who want multicultural, especially in IT, they want that. So please remember, think about what you need to improve. Keep it to yourself, secret, but don't tell everybody I'm not good at English. Don't say that to people. Just go on saying I have very good skills that are applied to your organization. I will improve my English within 4 months. Whatever you believe. Be strong, be positive. Now, we keep going here. Employers hire. people who learn quickly. So let's tell people, like, I learn quickly, especially in my area of passion. Like if I'm a passionate comptable, or if I'm a passionate, administration, whatever part, marketing. If you love what you do, like me, I continue working even after retirement. So people know, like, oh, I want to hire her because she's passionate about what she does. So, and I learn quickly. People give me their a workshop I need to teach. I learn it quickly. Adapt, communicate well, work as a team, solve problems. That's that's a big one, because every occupation you're in, you need to solve problems. So always say to your interviewer, I am able to help you with your mission, to help solve problems. I'm very good at that. So the success tips at the end: be respectful in the workplace culture, etiquette, no matter which country you live. Ask questions, listen, show that you are reliable and flexible, accept feedback. We always have to be positive, even if people bother us at the workplace, like they're not our style, our values are not the same. We still are respectful at work. What can we do? We will never be the same personalities, right? Not identical. So collaborate, keep learning. Very important. Employers want to know that you are willing to keep learning. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share. And, for those who still want to stay for 5 more minutes, but for those, I don't know if Julie or Valeria have something to announce before we go.
First of all, thank you so much, Doris, for all this information. And it is a big topic, right? Like we want to cover lots of things. And thank you so much, everyone, for being active, for your questions, for sharing your stories. I know sometimes it's difficult. I really want to just say 2 words about the accent because it's so relatable. People ask me about my accent as well, and I do get kind of frustrated about it as well. So I just want to support you. It does not mean that they don't understand you. They just hear that you are not from here, and that is okay. I just gonna tell you something that I keep reminding myself. We have the accents because this is our second language. That means that we can speak at least 2 languages, right? So there is nothing wrong about having the accent. So it does not mean they don't understand you. It means that they can hear that this is your second language, which means you're smart. So should be good. We will be sharing the PDF file that Doris had shown you before, and also we are going to share the link for one-on-one session in the email as well. But yeah, feel free to ask us any questions, or if you have anything you like, some other questions regarding your adaptation, your settlement, feel free to ask us. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your stories.
Thank you, everyone. Anyone else have a comment? Valeria, something that we might have forgotten?
I just want to confirm that volunteering really works in Canada. It helped me during my interviews when there were questions about Canadian experience. I was saying I have an experience of being a volunteer in an organization like you are. And I had a letter proving that I was volunteering, that was emphasizing my qualities as a good worker. So if you are volunteering, try to get the letter from the organization to prove your hours and to prove what kind of activities you were doing, whether it's applicable to your new job.
Very good. Excellent. See, we have live experiences here on the accent and on the volunteering. I love to hear that, So everybody, make sure you look at the one-on-one time frame. It's going to be starting August 10. So 2 weeks from now, please, Valeria and Julia will take your names, and then she'll ask you, time preferences and all that. And I'm flexible on time. Usually it's a Tuesday and a Thursday that I meet people. So just so you know, and that will continue into, August, September, October. We'll continue till the end of the year. So no worries. You can meet me twice. And then we go from there. After your second meeting with me, I will tell you what we can do.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm happy everyone was here. Thank you for your applause and your messages as well. Very nice. Oh, I like what Elvige is putting out there. That's so nice. Okay, thank you, everybody. You know, we all are here to support each other. You know, that's the key when it comes to job search, no matter where we live. So thank you again. I look forward to meeting you one-on-one. Have your resume prepared to send to me before we log on together. It's going to be a 45-minute session 2 times. And then there's more services if you need. I will talk to you about it after when we meet. And if Abdul wants the lady who I will talk to Valeria to send to you or to Julie about the accent woman consultant who helps.
Thank you so much. That will be appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, everyone. Have a good rest of the evening. I'll see you soon one-on-one. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.